Hey everybody, welcome back. We are getting ready to watch 3 Mile Island Meltdown. Is that the order? Hold on. Meltdown, 3 Mile Island. This was voted on. I didn't have a lot of folks vote, but this was the only one that won. None of the others got any votes. So we're going to watch this docu-series. It's 4 episodes. I'm going to go ahead and put a poll in my community section. So if you want to vote on the show that replaces this, please go there to vote on it and we'll see what wins. But right now we're going to watch 3 Mile Island. I can't remember. I think this happened before Chernobyl, I think. And I remember there was a big scare. I remember they were worried about a meltdown, but it didn't actually happen from what I remember. This was in the 80s, I believe, and depending on what year, I was either in North Carolina or I was in Pennsylvania. I think I think I was in Pennsylvania when 3 Mile Island happened. When I find the date, I'll let you know. After watching Chernobyl, I did learn that the United States has different nuclear reactors from Russia, which has RBMK reactors. There's a lot more safety standards that are in place for the types that we have in the US. I don't know if all of those necessarily existed at the time that 3 Mile Island happens or not. 3 Mile Island was the only one I knew about, and when I looked for other nuclear sites in the US, found we have a whole bunch. I didn't realize how much we had. In fact, there's like 5 or 6. I think there's 5 in North Carolina alone. So, yeah, I was surprised to see some of that stuff. So, I'm interested in watching this docu-series. I don't know if it's done as a documentary itself or if it's done as a television show docu-series, kind of like Chernobyl or not. So, we'll find that out. Um, but yeah, I'm curious to watch this. And if there's I'll look and see if there's a good summary about what this show got right and what it got wrong. And so if I can find a good one, I'll react to that after I've finished the series. So there might be 5 episodes attached to this playlist. So I think that's it to introduce you all on. So yeah, let's see what happens. Oh, and for those that may not know, the one in my lap is Purdy. She's over 21 years old now. We just found out she's entering kidney disease, which she's getting that from her medication for her arthritis. That one is Fangs. She sometimes comes and says hi and stretches and wants rubs and wants to smell my breath. And then you'll see the others jump on the back of the chair here. Buddy, Smokey, and JoJo all take turns on the back of the chair. I'll try to remember to introduce them as they come along. JoJo's scampering. 1979 in Pennsylvania. Mr. Rogers. I think that was Mr. Rogers they were showing. Okay, so 1979, I was in North Carolina at the time, but we went to Pennsylvania frequently because that's where my grandmother and uncle and cousins lived, and a couple of the family of that branch lived in Pennsylvania. So we went to Pennsylvania often, so that might be why I associated with it. I was thinking it happened in the 80s. I didn't realize it was 79. So I was around 5 years old when this happened.
They wanted to keep information from the general public.
The company's statements have not answered several.
Boy, this sounds familiar. And I thought 3 Mile Island was part of New York. I didn't realize it was part of Pennsylvania. The look, the Nuclear reactors look like beakers.
The Middletown area was the perfect place to build
I've
this
been to
nuclear power
Middleton,
plant because of the submarine
Middletown.
being right there.
To the demise of coal and steel, you had an industry coming to our community that employed a lot of people, paid well.
I think it's supposed to be, it's promoted as clean energy also.
I know from personal experience at 4 o'clock in the morning, that is the worst possible time of day. You're struggling to stay awake. I don't care how
Hmm.
dedicated you are.
Yep,
So
I've
the
worked third
operators were
shift.
set at that time. Temperature in the reactor is going up, even though the water level continued to indicate that it was full.
So is it an equipment malfunction?
They did not know what was going on, and it scared me.
Well, if it's something that never happened before.
There's no fresh water flowing through the system.
There was no flow across that core, so
So
the
do you
water
tell him to
was
turn that water back on that he turned off?
Under no circumstance is the water level supposed to drop beneath the core because so easily
I've seen him
it could
before.
spiral out of control.
I don't know where I've seen him before, but I've seen him.
that stopped the scenario that they were in. But by that time, there were
Creates new
superheaters
scenarios.
in the reactor.
And I'm being told that, come on, stay calm. Everything's going to be okay. So
She was only a year older than I was when it happened.
There was nothing that we could easily identify as being a cause of radiation.
I was going to say, what are they looking for?
We had a major problem in Unit 2.
Get those suits on.
To clear the building. And I ran to the office.
They're going to set off the siren, aren't they?
Med-Ed company officials had to shut down their 3 Mile Island nuclear power station unit number 2 this morning after an accident occurred.
Are they going to evacuate?
System. Officials have been saying that there is no danger to the general public and that the
Nope.
situation is under control.
I was still in bed.
But it's not under
Phone rang.
control.
It was, what is 3 Mile Island?
It's an island that's 3 miles long and has nuclear plants on them.
Stable. This was not anything terribly serious.
Get a lot of information, but
So the company's downplaying it?
no increase in normal radiation levels has been detected.
What are normal radiation levels?
Stated that there had been some radiation released.
I was really angry.
Well, and they're using words that the public in general doesn't know. People around here listen to the police scanners. They have to be careful of what they say over the scanners.
The China syndrome. Today, only a handful of people know what it means, and they're scared. Now,
I've never seen the China syndrome. Hi, little girl. This is Fangs.
Render an area the size of Pennsylvania permanently uninhabitable.
Oh, it is weary, eerie. What it's referencing.
And within 12 days, people found out that it could.
I was gonna say, never say never. That's a cool desk. This is the movie though, right? Oh no, this is 3 Mile Island. We've hit the next phase.
There was a large thud heard in the control room, and at the same time, a pressure spike in the containment building, but it came straight down. There was not a lot of understanding.
We're seeing curly haired dude a lot. Is he one of the guys that we're interviewing? I always figure out what that noise is. Haven't you ever watched horror movies?
It was a clusterfuck in the control room.
Sounds like it.
Let us know this. And he said, well, no one asked me. And which is just
That's not
just made me dumbfounded.
a good
It was
response.
as if they were not a reliable source of information.
Darn tootin'.
On the incident at the 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant today.
12 hours later. I will say they seem to be having a better response than Chernobyl did, even though they're not being honest about stuff.
Was our first indication of stability.
That basically
But it can't be that simple because we still have 3 more episodes.
Radiation exposure occurred for any of the individuals that were involved.
Looks like they're sealing themselves up pretty good.
It was like the rapture took place.
That would be eerie.
The teledetector peg tremendously high was definitely a concern. You know, you have people that depend on you at home.
There's not enough boron.
My badge was red. It came out to be 2.8 rem,
Wow.
almost 100 times what you're allowed to have, and didn't work very well.
Oh, it didn't work.
I wouldn't touch my kids, but excuse me.
He did touch his wife.
That there are points where there are no guarantees. There's no guarantee, sir, that you won't be struck by a meteorite tomorrow.
Chaos theory.
The Nuclear Regulatory Commission is
So,
monitoring the
what's their
situation.
opinion of what's going on at 3 Mile Island? I've been to that building before.
I was in.
Which they say justifies the decision not to evacuate the surrounding area.
So, are we misinterpreting like Russia did? What's the number? Oh, it's going up fast. It's past. It's maxed out.
As high as 1,200 millirem per hour were detected in the cloud of gas.
If you're evacuating, you're leaving towns, businesses, homes, unprotected, emptied. The looting
Disrupting everything.
enormous.
But we're talking about lives. You know, the debate about what to tell the public, companies debate about what to tell their employees and all this kind of stuff. And it drives me crazy because they end up not giving enough information, but they give just a hint. And because they're not giving more than that hint, people start speculating and then rumors start and then panic and then all that kind of stuff. So the panic they were trying to avoid to begin with could have been lessened if they would give accurate, detailed information. I'm not saying they have to give everything and they don't have to give the behind the scenes, but they need to give in front of the scenes, you know? And that was my big complaint with Chernobyl. The Russian government kept downplaying everything. This was before Chernobyl. So Chernobyl didn't learn from us, and we're not doing much better with being open and honest with the public and protecting the people, it seems like.
Giving us conflicting information.
Well, that sucks.
They were spinning the
So you should
population up
keep your
and
windows
shutting them
closed.
down.
Siren goes off, and it doesn't stop.
That
You have no
siren is
idea
the
what's going on.
evacuation siren. Sounds like it. The end. It looks like we're getting a combination. They're doing a narrative interview style documentary, but reenacting it with people that also using real footage. You can tell what's the real footage and what's the reenactment. Hi. Say, I'm just a love bug. I love to be cradled like this, and I love for my belly to be rubbed. This is Fangoria, but we call her Fangs. And she likes to watch the TV sometimes, or the laptop. I have her reacting to different things. I've got one up right now, but we'll get some more up. I have a bunch recorded where she's watching things on the laptop. Yeah, this is my squirrel. I think it'll stay interesting. Like I said, the fix that they had seemed too simple since we have 3 more episodes. It definitely is not as bad as Chernobyl, but it's a lot worse than what they're making it out to be based on what we're being presented. Like I said, I want to see if I can find something that talks about what's accurate, what's not accurate about what's being put in here. Of course, it looks like we're interviewing the people that were there, along with the people on the outside, the administration that is overseeing things but not necessarily there on site. And so, what is being lied about? What is being underrepresented? What is misleading? You know, it seems like we got all of those things going on. Well, the one wasn't a lie, but it was an omission. He didn't say it up front. His excuse was, "Well, you didn't ask." Well, Bud, we need that kind of information to know what kind of emergency we're in. She takes forever to sit down. Don't you say it hurts? She's got arthritis right here and arthritis right here. It's real bad right here. So, so interesting so far. I'm going to have a hard time keeping people straight, except for Michu Kaku. I'm probably saying the name wrong. I've seen him somewhere else. I don't know if it's been interviews or like nuclear physicist reacts or, that kind of stuff. I've seen him somewhere before though. Does it feel better to sit instead of lie down? Of course, my legs are up and in the way. They're not laying down. I think that's all I've got to say at this point. We kind of need to see more of what's going on. It sounds like we do have some bravery. People are doing what they need to do and doing it themselves. They're not saying, hey, can you do this for me? Unlike with Chernobyl, we saw Dyatlov was dictating, you do this, you do that, you go check on this, rather than checking himself, that kind of stuff. It seems like the leaders that were there acted on their own without dictating. So that's good to see, but it's also bad to see because the person that had to do it is now impacted for life. I know he said he was still contaminated when he went home. He didn't touch his children, but he didn't talk about his wife. So I wonder if he hugged her or, that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's just hard to stay away. As much as we yell at the screen, don't do that. I'm surprised after showering for 2 hours that he was still contaminated. It is a contagious type of contaminated. I would think after 2 hours of soap and water and whatever else they use to decontaminate, um, I'm sur- I'm surprised he was still radiating. All right. On that note, thank you all for joining me on this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.